right. Welcome to the Patriot Hour for October 4th, 2019. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You didn't see me yesterday because I didn't feel well. I still don't feel well, too bad. I'm going to do this. I got to lay around all day yesterday trying to feel better. But I listened to a lot of news and was up most of the night because I ended up, waking up late, wide awake, and watched lots of things. One thing I want to point out, we're going to go over a couple different articles here today, but folks, it's all coming out. The Ukraine, Russia, everything we've been waiting on. Democrats were surprised yesterday when they got the State Department briefing. They thought it was going to be all things to help their case. There's been investigations going on quietly, not secretly, but quietly. And it's been made available. We've talked about it for 2 years. The media has refused to acknowledge it. Now that it's all coming out, the investigations, we know that Giuliani has said that, they're trying to make this political, that Biden's running. You can't go against political. The investigation was over before he ever announced his running. Fact. It's just now coming out. All right, so don't let them lie and act like this is all, and then is that the rule that the Democrats want to, you got somebody that runs, you can never get them on a crime because it'd be considered political. Not at we point. This is exactly what happened with Obama, Hillary, and to Trump. We haven't resolved that yet, so we can't act like they kind of acknowledge it. We know it's bad. We don't ever want to do it again. Oh, here's Trump doing it. It happened to him, so he wants payback. No, he has every right as the chief law enforcement to make sure things are clean, to find our history out, to make sure everything was done right. We don't have to take the word. Everyone that the media, the Democrats are pointing to was a last Ukraine government. They're acting like that's the one that was solid, that they put in. Even that prosecutor they put in to get his son off, a year later was still investigating everything beforehand that the other guy was investigating. He didn't like what had happened to his country. And then that's when they started stonewalling him. He's out. So now there's this new prosecutor and there's this new president. And they're working with the Trump team. They have been. Investigations are done. They're wrapped up. I'm going to point out this Glenn Beck. I know a lot of people probably don't like, he's only back with Trump. He was against Trump. He ended up coming on board. We need everyone we can get. This is good information. He did a lot. If you're interested in this Ukraine, the actual facts, he lays them all out. He doesn't, from my best knowledge, didn't add anything. He used nothing but D-Class, WikiLeaks, everything to put it together, folks. And I would suggest, and I will link this below, that you check this out. All right. I'm going to show you a little bit. We'll, I'll, kind of go through it here real quick, just a few spots.
And much more troublesome than whatever Joe and Hunter Biden might have been doing there, or what favor the president asked. There's never been more at stake for our nation. This is a much larger problem than a single election or which president gets elected or impeached. This crisis shines a spotlight onto the very core of our nation.
Pitch, so you can explain it to your friends. You're going to do something different. The Democrats and the media have been lasering in on this phone call between Donald Trump and the Ukrainian of the people. And
he goes through a lot, but he gets into it here. All right. So he's got all these chalkboards up.
Remember that?
You can see everything behind him. Breaks down all the people.
The media was all over George W. Bush. Corruption. So he meets with Devon Archer. I'm going to give you this real quick. He meets with Devon Archer. Money. But I got to tell you, we're going to have to watch over it. Now, let me show you how much money we're talking about. Riding in on the white horse to save the day with all kinds of U.S. aid to Ukraine. It included a $1 billion sovereign loan guarantee, $320 million in general assistance, $118 million in equipment training for their security forces, $20 million for new law enforcement reform, and a fleeting error. We lost $2.2 million and $1.8 billion in an IMF loan that for lobbying.
I'm looking for this
in the
phone
United
call.
States of America. He's Tony Podesta
Okay, right here.
Democratic corruption in Ukraine when the story was dropped directly at their feet.
Now this is true.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She
did this on July
in an
12th.
off-camera briefing on July 12th, 2017. These words. Listen.
I think if there's been any evidence of collusion in 2016 that's come out at all or been discussed, that's actually happened, it would be between the DNC and the Ukrainian government. I don't often quote the New York Times, but even one of their reporters tweeted earlier today that why this example provides evidence of collusion, quote, cooperation was between DNC officials and officials from the Ukrainian government, not just some associate. Ukrainian actions to coordinate with the DNC was actually successful, unlike anything shown by Don Jr.'s emails. Information passed to the DNC from the Ukrainian government directly targeted members of the Trump campaign in an attempt to undermine it. And that was just Ukraine.
Okay. So the incoming White House press secretary alleges that the DNC was colluding with the government of Ukraine. Not only that, but together, they specifically targeted people within the Trump campaign during an election. While this sounds like a scandal that everyone should be worried about or looking at, no, this is about Joe Biden and Trump's phone call.
So they show on this timeline that they're already there, they're already doing stuff, and then they start this little uppity spot, and they go into the MAGA. They get the Paul Manafort, start framing him, getting all the stuff they can, making up. They made up stuff because they didn't really have anything. Crazy, folks. Again, I would recommend if you want to know the facts. Now, this is interesting here too. We're going to listen to this.
In the media in English. I just want you to listen. Now, the speaker you're going to hear is Director Sitnik, and this is what he said. Listen.
Я думаю, що так. Я ж йому теж не йому, а Хіларі допомагали.
Тоді ви там трошки шатнули, да.
Ні, це так пишуть.
Ну, мені кажуть, що Хіларі погано було, не дуже.
Wow, Clinton Foundation.
Ну, я наскільки пам'ятаю, ви говорили, що для нас, мабуть, було ближче Хіларі.
Ні, Трамп же ж він чисто в нього внутрішні питання домінують над зовнішніми. А Хіларі це якби це із тих політиків, що вони гегемонія Америки в світі. Для нас це так лучше. А для американців лучше так, це те, що Трамп робить.
На зараз ці американські страховки, це баба, мужик.
Ми ж оприлюднили дані про Манафорта, якого посадили. Манафорт ж був керівник цього виборчого штабу Трампа. Ну, я ж тоді це оскорнив, зараз, в тому числі за те, що проходили по чорну бухгалтерію, посадили там, що 80 років телебомбили. І Трампа барабан, тому що система працює чітко. І коли були вибори, за неділю до виборів, FBI поновив розслідування відносно Хіларі. У неї рейтинг попав на 7%, і Трамп на тяжко переміг. Я так не можу зрозуміти, що Трамп воює з FBI, і кажуть, що я доганяють. Якби не FBI, то не був президентом. Вони Хіларі погасили рейтинг на 7%.
Wow, that seems pretty kind of
Freaking crazy. That is nuts, folks. So, I suggest you get over here, check out this Glenn Beck. Again, it's lots of information.
Standing in the way to find out what this man is telling us about. But concentrate on this date. Forget about all this. This is a conspiracy. Concentrate here. Trump made a phone call. Trump made a phone call. You see how this doesn't work? You see how none of this is...
So, yeah, the reason I'm saying to watch this is that way you know the facts. You get them into your head. Again, it's lots of paperwork here. The actual stuff, not the media stuff. It's actual coming from the departments, actual sworn in testimonies, WikiLeaks, things like that, emails between some of these people and Hillary. So you'll get it all, and then you'll know. And then you can counter anybody that tries to tell you anything different and give them facts instead of, you're repeating lies. I don't, the phone call thing. I mean, that's the least. I think that was like a phone, something to expose everything before it. Hopefully. I mean, that's what we're kind of seeing. All right, now. So CIA whistleblower failed to follow law by going into the House Intel panel. That's pretty disturbing. He lied, said he didn't see this or know nothing about it, but we know that's a lie now. They went to, this person's a registered Democrat, by the way. It's all coming out, folks. This is an orchestration. Schiff got the, a month and a half ago, knew about it, started probably talking to Nancy and everyone, hey, there's something coming on. He didn't share it with the other side of Congress like they're supposed to. And they're acting like they're fine. They break the law to try to get Trump for breaking the law. It doesn't work that way. CBS polls are showing majority of Americans across all parties think latest impeachment talk just to hurt Trump's reelection. Trump urges China to investigate the Bidens for corruption as well. That is a huge thing to people yesterday that he publicly said it. Now they're saying, look, he's saying it out loud. Trump urges China to investigate the Bidens for corruption. President Donald Trump said Thursday China should also investigate Hunter Biden and his father, former Vice President Joe Biden, for corruption. Likewise, China should start an investigation of the Bidens because what happened in China is just about as bad as the Ukraine. The president spoke to reporters outside the White House as he traveled to Florida for an event defending Medicare. Trump said he had not brought up the idea of investigating the Bidens with Chinese president, but liked the idea. Why not? We know it's not going to be good for him over there either. So, facts. We know that it was done before the Mueller report came out. It was done before Biden ever announced. It would be a little funny, I guess, even though there's real crimes, that you would come out, start something after somebody announces they're winning, kind of like Trump did, right? They even did it worse on him. They didn't do anything or worry about him working with Russia or make that up until, he started running and became a threat. So the Ukrainians donated more than any other national group to the Clinton Foundation. We know that as a fact now. That's coming out. In a 15-year accounting of foreign donors, England donated $8.4 million and Saudi Arabia $7.3 million to the Clinton Foundation. Ukrainian beat both of these countries. And they didn't have a lot. Folks, there's lots of money that came up missing over there after Biden and them, and that's what this guy was investigating. He didn't like what they did. The investigator that Biden put in, by the way. All right, so you gotta look into this. It's like the guy was good for that one time frame when Biden needs him, but then after that, when they're starting to come back and say we want to investigate everything you guys did here, it's not good. They stonewalled them, cut them off. The guy said, "I need to get over and talk to your DOJ." They said your visas are revoked. The Obama administration had put in this lady over there. Trump fired her shortly after all this stuff was going on. So lots coming out, all right? And it's not the narrative that everyone that you think. It's our narrative, the one that we've been investigating and digging into. It's all finally coming out, all right? We have all been waiting. When is this going to do it? When is this going to happen? Well, it's here. The media is still going to... at this point, they can only say, the whole Ukrainian new government's corrupt. Trump was able to make this whole government corrupt in 3 years. Trump was able to beat the largest intelligence gathering system in the world here in the U.S., the most funded, biggest budget on the planet, and work with the Russians and win the election. Then they started all these investigations from within the U.S., and Trump was able to beat them again by being so good hiding things, and they just couldn't get nothing. Adam Shifty Schiff talked about for 2.5 years that he had personal evidence or real evidence that he's seen with his own eyes. But yet when it's all done, Trump doesn't go down. There's not even anything on Trump, and we're left to believe now that Schiff has that at home and is safe, or, you know, and it's like he's holding on to it, but he's going after other angles to get him. If you had something, wouldn't you have turned it over? You're meaning to tell me you withheld evidence that could have put him away? You have stuff? It's lies. And then he comes out in front of Congress and makes a whole mockery of it, and Pelosi stands up for him. He did. That's what Trump said. And they're like, no, he didn't. He added a bunch of words and said whatever. Well, I think this American people, I mean, she's nuts. Schiff's a liar, leaker. All right, so we will keep following all these stories. Again, check the link down below, or the description box down below for the link. And I'm going to look at a few other things. Again, I'm just taking it easy today, and I'll get something else out here for you folks. But again, God bless, Godspeed each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here real soon on the next Patriot Hour. Make sure you're subscribed. Share this video, give it a like on your way out, and we are heavily shadow banned by YouTube and all kinds of issues. So everything you do helps, and we appreciate it. Talk to you later on the next episode as we dive into more truth and stories. Never take what we say here to be 100% truth or word. Do your own digging, come up with your own facts, connect all the dots, and come to your best conclusions based off all that. All right, you guys have a great morning into your afternoon.